Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's GeneralTarheel, your coach Shazards, bringing you the P4G Next Generation Week 1 battle versus Coach Ultraplayer and the York Metagross. Now, I'd just like to mention I had a lot of problems with my computer this week. So, one, you're probably judging the shit out of my mic right now, and that's because I'm using my laptop mic that for some reason sounds like a fishbowl. My USB ports in my computer are broken, and I wasn't able to get them fixed because the tech store was closed due to the snow in my area. And then also my face cam is not working, so I'm having some serious software and I think the USB is hardware issues. And I haven't been able to get it fixed yet, but I definitely want to get out of video. So unfortunately I have to do it like this, which really sucks. So here we are. Please leave your best roast about my mic in the comments. But I had to upload for this and I still had to upload for APA, like I just had to. Like I hate not uploading, So as we were kicking off the first week of P4G Next Generation, we had to face Ultraplayer. Ultraplayer I did face once in APA Season 2, where he did have to take over for Kelly when I faced him, and it was a very close match, and I know he's a very solid battler, and it was definitely going to be scary considering I already had a pretty poor matchup in my opinion. His roster consisted of Tapu Lele, Tornadus, Therian, Hydreigon, Linoon, Alomomola, Registeel, Alolan Golem, Darmanitan, Virizion, Mudsdale, Frostlass, and he had the Fight Z Crystal. Now, Tapu Lele destroys my team because my Steel is only Cobalion, basically, so Tapu Lele just always picks up a kill versus me, and then his threats in Tornadus and Hydreigon are already still scary. Darmanitan's a threat, even though I do have, like, Blastoise and stuff, and his bulk is just annoying in Alomomola and Registeel. So I really wasn't too happy about this matchup for week 1, but I knew I still had to make it a fun game nonetheless. So kicking off with the team build, I decided to start with the captain, Kieran Block. Never Go Back was a bulky offensive Pokemon with Earth Power, Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, and Roost. And then we had Cobalion. Cobalion was a dual dance set with Rock Polish Swords Dance. It had the Lumberry with Close Combat Iron Head. Basically, I was just trying to get a lot of setup versus the Alomomola and hopefully only get one Scald Burn versus me, so the Lumberry helps me out. Next up, we have a Lantern. This was a Assault Vest Lantern, almost max PDF. Volt Switch, Dazzling Gleam, Scald, and Icy Wind just to help me out versus special attackers, and like Hydreigon, Lele if need be, and then Tornadus mainly. And then next up is Nidoqueen with the Pyapa Berry. Pretty SPDF bulky, but with some attack and special attack, very little bit. I had Stealth Rock, Poison Jab, Earthquake, Thunderbolt. With the investment, I had 2-shot defensive Alomomola. Poison Jab allowed a kill on Virizion and Tapu Lele, which was very important. And Nidoqueen lived every hit from Lele at full. If it was Specs, Psych, or Specs, Psyshock, it could have been a roll. More so in my favor, it was like max 1-on-1, I think, for the investment I had. So I knew Nidoqueen could put in some work. And then we had Shaman. Shaman was a mixed bulk. It basically lived 2 Scarf hits from Tapu Lele, no matter if it was 2 Psyshocks or 2 Psychics. I made the bulk basically the same. I had Sea Flare, Synthesis, Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power. It did dismount to his team, but of course Tornadus was always a problem for this thing. But I really need something to break open Alomomola and then weaken down Registeel as well. And the last we have our Mega Gardevoir, Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, Psyshock, and Focus Blast. It's so much work for this team actually, like in the matchup. I just had to be able to get up my Calm Mind, get a little chip on the Registeel so Focus Blast could blow it back if it would land. It's always risky running Focus Blast, but you know how it goes. So that's it for the team build. I'm trying to go faster on these because I do know I take long. I will be doing team builders in a separate video now from now on for APA, so make sure you check that out. They'll be going up tomorrow. But I just won't have the time to do it for P4G Next Gen, unfortunately. So hopefully you still enjoy it as I do it a little bit more briefly. I do enjoy going in depth to team builds though, so that's why I do have to do it separate in APA now. And so as we were kicking off the battle, I was really happy not seeing Darmanitan because I made this team kind of Darmanitan weak just to focus on the other threats. And I actually guessed like all of his 6 right, so that was very nice to see at the battle. I mean, still scary, but still nice that I guessed them right. I know for sure Stealth Rocks are going to be in Registeel. He does have defog potential in both Torn and Hydreigon. More so would probably be in the Torn because Hydreigon should be full offense, not bulky this game and whatnot. On top of Lele, it's going to be either Scarf or Specs. I was assuming in the matchup that it was going to be Scarf because then it can just basically get a kill on just about anything on my team and whatnot. It doesn't have to risk speed ties with like Kieran Black and stuff like that. Virizion I'd figured be an SD set going into this game, so I knew that was going to be scary. But as we were kicking off the battle, I decided to leave with my Nidoqueen. It basically gets up Stealth Rocks versus anything, and that's kind of a priority versus his team, just because Torn's really annoying with regen. Getting up the rocks is just going to help that a little bit more, you know. So as we lead off with Nidoqueen or with Tifa, he does decide to lead off with the Tornadus. I was really tempted to click Thunderbolt here, but at the same time I knew my priority was in getting up Stealth Rocks. So as he goes for the U-turn immediately, that's showing he doesn't really have any attack investment in this Tornadus, which is very good, and he will just go right into the Alomomola, which would have been very nice if I clicked T-Bolt there, because then he'd be pressured to switch out as I would two-shot it. But it's fine, because I have the perfect switch in Shaman for this thing. Having natural cure and whatnot, just being a bulky grass type is just amazing. So as I switch out, I will go into Shaman or Shanik here, as he will opt just to go for the knockoff, which is very clever, getting rid of my leftovers. Now I'm going to make a double right back out in Nidoqueen, considering Nidoqueen pressures everything on his team except for this Alomomola when it's at full health. And as he does make the switch out from Alomomola, he will go into Sprout, which is his Virizion, which makes sense because this Virizion is a really nice BF bulk, so it could definitely come in on Shaman. He wouldn't have to always be forced to go into Tornadus if he didn't want to. So even though I need Nidoqueen basically at this health in order to take on Lele with my Pyapa Berry, this thing is still a threat versus my team. It almost destroyed me in a mock battle, so I wanted to go and get out the Poison Jab and kill this thing. Luckily it did. Of course he was predicting Sludge Wave, but the Poison Jab set is just so nice, and sometimes considering Nidoqueen does have a better attack stat. And here he goes into the Lele. If he specs, this is a roll to kill me. If he is Scarf, I live and he hit. So I had to stay in here with Nidoqueen. This was the main reason of bringing Nidoqueen. I just had to try and get this kill. He goes for the Psychic, we eat the Pyapa Berry. And Nidoqueen lives on 6 HP, which is very nice. He was Specs, so that was definitely a roll for him to knock us out. I don't really know. I think it was in my favor to live still, even though I did take that Stealth Rock damage. Or, sorry, not Stealth Rock, U-turn damage. I still think I was supposed to live that. He'll go into the Torn here. I don't really need Nidoqueen for anything else, but at the same time, since I have a perfect switch into Lantern, I'm just going to go into that, and I can use Nidoqueen as sack-off fodder for Hydreigon or Tornadus at a different time, if needed. Showing he's an Air/Tornadus and not a Hurricane, we absolutely eat that for doing 0. He will go for the Defog here, which is clever. I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. Or he would have it on Torn, to be completely honest, but I knew it was a possibility. And so I just go for the Volt Switch, bringing this a little down. This kind of puts me in a bad position, so I just decided to bluff Scarf Cure him right here. And this is a free Fusion Bolt because he does not have a ground immunity with his Mudsdale on his team, so it will get off a lot of damage versus anything, even the Registeel. Even though Earth Power would be doing more to Reggie, I don't want to risk it in case he does stay in, not predicting Scarf or something. Because I did live a Fight Z from full health with Kieran Black. I did make him that bulky. Or at least from a superpower. I don't know if a Focus Blast would kill me or not. Goes into Registeel, I do take the Life Orb damage, and he will get his leftovers. Now I'm just going to opt to stay in here and just click Earth Power because he's probably just getting up his Stealth Rocks, which is a smart idea. But I'm basically going to take this thing down to get all the chip I need in order for Gardevoir to definitely put in some work. Because by the looks of his team, all he can really do to me is, one, if he has the Iron Tail or Sludge Wave on Torn, or if he has more coverage on Hydreigon. Otherwise, Gardevoir is looking very nice right now, after like one Calm Mind. So as he decides to switch out right here, I'm just clicking Earth Power again. The only thing I cannot hit is Tornadus, which I'm perfectly fine with, because as he goes into the Hydreigon, Earth Power will go through Levitate because of Kieran Black's Terravolt. And then I have to make a switch into this Hydreigon here, so I'm just going to go right to my Nidoqueen as the sack off, like I mentioned before. We will go down to Stealth Rocks, and I get to see what this Hydreigon locks itself into, because I was 90% sure this thing was going to be either most likely Scarf, just outspeed Scarf Kyurem. So I will just go into Lantern here on his lock into U-turn. As he does go for the U-turn here, I do get critical hit, which is kind of unfortunate. It doesn't really matter too much, but it kind of still sucks in the end. He will go into Tornadus here, as I do go for the Volt Switch, but unfortunately I do not have a switch into this Tornadus really, because he knows I'm not Scarf Cure in black now and whatnot, so I'm going to go into Cavalion and try to bluff Scarf on that. And the only way he can kill me here is if he has Focus Blast Fight Z. And of course, as he goes for the Z move, we do see that he's going to be Focus Blast Fight Z. Now this didn't really matter because I misplayed. I didn't think he was going to click it versus my Cavalion, so I thought he was going to go hard on Momola. So I did click SD before Rock Polish, so that was a misplay on my part. But so it didn't really matter right here that he did have it. It just basically I just sacked my Cavalion. But at this point, it basically allows me to go into my KB because nothing can really kill me from what he could possibly do. And I do have also the option to go right back into my Lantern. But I opted to go into Gardevoir here since I know all 4 of his moves. Sorry, it's been a while since I watched the replay. He doesn't have Iron Tail or Sludge Wave, so I can freely just come in here. He's probably going to U-turn. This was a misplay though. I should have clicked Calm Mind because he was going to go into Registeel, but I simply clicked Hyper Voice just to get off damage. There's no reason for him not to U-turn into Registeel. He gets regen back with Tornadus, and Registeel ideally eats any 2 hits from this thing if it's not super effective coverage. So as he goes into the Registeel, like I mentioned, I did not opt to go for the Calm Mind, which was a misplay, and then I just go for the Hyper Voice. As he gets the Leftovers recovery, it shows that he puts him out of range of a 2-shot. It was a roll before, and now I definitely wouldn't get it. So I try to hit Focus Blast here, we miss it. It's like, okay, it's Focus Blast, it happens. But he opts to go for the Seismic Toss instead of Iron Head, which he does show he has Iron Head, so I wonder why he went for Seismic Toss. He gets more Leftovers recovery, now I definitely have to hit Focus Blast, and as I go for it, I miss it again. So Focus Miss is coming in, doing an amazing job. Mega Gardevoir is Helen Keller, but props to Helen Keller because it cannot hear my shitty mic right now. As the Registeel gets his Leftovers back up, this just really puts me in a bad situation because maybe I would have hit it if I got a Calm Mind up and whatnot. That would have put me in a really nice position. But, you know, it happens. It's Focus Blast. It's only 70% accurate, but I'm not going to run HP fighting when the damage difference is double. So I'm just going to go into Gyramir, click Roost. No reason not to. Even if he does have the Iron Head here, Gyram's just going to eat it up because I am very bulky. And he does show he has the Iron Head. Still not sure why I didn't go for it versus the Gardevoir, but it's fine. We're going to eat that up, and I'm simply going to go for the Earth Power here to get the for sure kill on the Registeel instead of trying to like get a 2-shot with Fusion Bolt, because it'd be risky for him to go into Tornadus anyway since that is his win con. So as we knock out the Registeel, he will simply go into Hydreigon right here, and I feel like my best play is hoping this man just misses a Draco Meteor, because that's all I can really hope at this point, and he lands it, but it's fine. So my Kyurem Black will go down to this Draco Meteor. We would have knocked out Hydreigon with Ice Beam if we did avoid it, but no justice in the system. So as KB goes down here, I'm just going to have to go right into Shaman. Basically right here, I had to get off a Seed Flare and get off a Spadef Drop if he did go into Tornadus, which he opts to, which is of course his best play. So as he goes into the Tornadus here, I will click Seed Flare and we miss. I feel like that's going to be just how it goes with my Seed Flares for this season. And he will go for Air Slash. I knew my best plays were to Synthesis up, because since he is Air Slash, even if he is max special attack, he does max like 47 to me. This would have been better if I had Leftovers, but I know I can rely on rolls and get at least around like 5% back majority of the time. If I don't get flinched, of course, or if he does miss, then it's free. So as we're just going to Synthesis up for this Tornadus, this is my only win con. I need to get to around full health with Shaman, and I need to click Seed Flare, I need to hit it, I need to get the Spadef Drop, and then I need to get a like pretty solid damage with the Dazzling Gleam hit. So as we Synthesis up again, this is going to bring us just about to full, so now I can go ahead and click Seed Flare this turn. As he opts to go for the Air Slash right here, he will land it, and he will get the flinch for my Shaman, which is really unfortunate. At this point, I know I just had to give up. Like I needed hacks of my own in order to win at this point, so there was really no point in fighting it off. But at the same time, I wanted to try, so we hit the Seed Flare, and we do absolutely nothing. We do not get the Spadef Drop. And basically I knew there was no point at this rate. The The only chance is if he went for Air Slash and he missed, which would be a misplay, considering like he did U-turn. It's for sure hit. He would get a regen. He had no reason not to do that. So he goes out into his Hydreigon here, which is interesting. Not surprised it wasn't Alomomola if he did have Toxic or not. But he just opts to go into Hydreigon as I go into my Lantern. I figure he would just do U-turn momentum because that is his best play. But he opts to go for Dark Pulse, and then my Lantern just gets off Dazzling Gleam. So at least we're capable of limiting it to a 2-0 loss, which isn't too bad. But at this point, the Tornadus can just successfully U-turn and whatnot versus me. It can even go for more damage in Air Slash if it wanted to right here, and then U-turn out, which he did opt to do. So as it goes for the Air Slash, I do get off the Volt Switch damage. My Kurt wouldn't even have killed him here, so there was no reason in him not just doing this. Because 2 U-turns will just knock me out at this point. As we do live the U-turn from the Tornadus, just living very so slightly, just living, like, just waiting to be put down at this point. Alomomola does come out, and we just get off more Volt Switch damage with U-turn. After leftovers, a Volt Switch crit won't even kill this thing. So Lantern will definitely go down to the knockoff from Alomomola, which is unfortunate, but it did just come down to me using inaccurate moves, which is always a chance of losing when you do that. It's just a risk and reward thing. It's just really unfortunate it had to happen that way, because it would have been a much closer and better battle versus Ultraplayer if we were capable of landing those moves. But it was still a great game nonetheless. I don't know why the screen went black. Oh, it started again. That's cool. So hopefully I fix up my mic for next week. Unfortunately, it will be like this for the APA videos, which you'll be seeing tomorrow and whatnot. But still look forward to it. Hope to see you guys there, and see you guys next week for P4G Next Gen. Hopefully we get luckier, because I do like this team and I really hope it works out. The prep with Nidoking worked well and everything. It's just it didn't work out for us in the end, which it happens. This league's all about fun, so I'm not going to be too upset about it. But Salt Heal is no longer a thing. I have evolved, I promise. I was a little upset during the battle, but it's all part of Pokemon, unfortunately. So that'll be it from this week. Make sure to like, share, deuces.